So let's get into Michael Misa next, who I think we both feel really good about. Yeah. He is a left shot forward, can play center or left wing. He is on the bigger side, 6'1", 185 pounds. Here's his rankings. Second by Elite Prospect. Mackenzie has him third. Craig Button second. McKean's Hockey has him second. Daily Faceoff and Dauber Prospects also have him second. He played in the OHL with the Saginaw Spirits. A monster productive year. 134 points, 62 goals, 72 assists in 65 games played. I know this is who you would take if it was up to you with the number one pick.
This is an exceptional status player. And proved that status right away. Joined Saginaw 3 years. He's been in the OHL for 3 full years now. 56 points in 45 games in that first season with Saginaw. Then 75 points in 67 games. And now is a little bit, I'm going to say older, but not quite older because he's only in his year 17 season. Goes up 134 points, 62 goals, as you said. 62 goals in 65 games. That's just insane. It's like Gavin, McKenna insane, but it's pretty goddamn close, man.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive. And I think that's something that stands out to me when talking about pros with him. His shot and release is special. That stands out. My other notes for things that were positive for him, he's a good skater. He has good vision. And he doesn't shy away from physicality, which I like. I don't always love the prospects who are not saying that he's great defensively, but like not afraid to use size, like all finesse. There we go. That's the word that I was trying to think of. These all like smaller, all finesse players. I think, with his size, he's someone that you'd want to see play with that streak in his game.
Yeah, because you're going to have to add it going forward. It's just a reality of the game outside of juniors. Physicality is going to be an important part of the game, whether it's played on you or not. So you're going to have to live up to it. You don't have to turn into Matt Martin or Cal Clutterbuck here, but at a certain point, you're going to have to use your physicality, which is one of the biggest detriments to Josh Bailey, right? Like, it's not to say that he couldn't take a hit. It's that it didn't seem like he could. And so that kind of like slowed down his progression up until a certain point. But that's not going to be an issue for Michael Misa here, who, as you said, seems to shine in just about every single aspect of the game, from defensive to offensive to physical to skills. It seems like he's got it all at this point. And of course, he's not going to be good defensively going into the NHL, and not a single one of these players ever is. They not only have to get used to the speed, but they got to get used to, as you said, the physicality. But all those aspects, it's just, you can't pass up on that. You can't pass up on a player who's going to score or is scoring nearly a goal per friggin' game and is scoring 2 points on average per game. Was a leader for this team this year, and I won a Memorial Cup last year with them. It's proven winner.
And that was where I was going to go next. He was the captain of the Saginaw Spirit, and like the leadership quality to be ranked a captain. And I get it. It's an OHL versus the NHL. I'm not saying that, he's going to go into league, and when Anders Lee is not here in a year, that he's going to be the next captain of the Islanders. That might be a little premature, but I think it speaks to the character that he has, which is an important part. It's not the whole thing, but it's an important part of the evaluation process.
Absolutely. You 100%. Captains have different roles. They don't just wear the C, right? They actually have responsibilities within the team, within the organization itself, in terms of getting the team ready to play, to perform. And so having a kid already exposed to that at this level and within his skill set, again, exceptional player. I'm not just using that. He filed for exceptional status, was granted exceptional status, entered the OHL a year before he was generally allowed to, because he was so good, and has proven that status throughout his career at the OHL level. And then you add on top of that the responsibilities, where he didn't wilt away when the responsibilities and the skills and the attention kind of mounted. That's huge going forward. That's going to be translatable for sure.
Yeah, it definitely will. And like you made it pretty clear that you would prefer to go with Michael Misa. I think if I was the one making the call, number 1 overall, I would take Misa as well. My 2 notes for needs work are, I think at times he takes too many chances or tries to force plays, which happens with a lot of those guys, skilled players. I mean, Matthew Barzal still does it even to an extent. And I put defense. Not that he's horrible defensively, but I just think that's an area of his game that's going to need some work at the next level.
Yeah, and every single prospect ever that's going to be drafted is going to need work defensively, every single one of them. For me, obviously holding on to the puck may be a little bit too long, but when you're dealing with being an exceptional status player on a team like Saginaw, who was not good when he entered it, obviously, you kind of build those habits of I've got to do a lot myself. And so it's maybe a little bit harder to shake. And so hopefully he shakes those going forward.
Yeah.
My only addition in terms of the negatives is we have an exceptional status player from the OHL who could be drafted first overall by the New York Islanders and is an Ontario-based player.
Does that remind you of anybody?
At least he's not from Toronto, but he's from Oakville, which isn't too far from Toronto.
Well, you had Matthew Schaefer flat out said he was a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. So does that take him off your board completely then, I guess?
Done. He's dead to me. Look, John Tavares from Mississauga, Ontario, but youth team Oakville MHA. Ooh, not fun. Fun. I'm kidding, of course, but still, it's something that at least sits in the back of your craw. Bill's having a hard time right now, that's for sure.
He definitely is. I just feel like, too, one more point on him before we get to the third and final guy here.
Yeah.
We've talked a long time, even during the Tavares era, of the Islanders need more goal scoring. They got to find a goal scorer. And I also have a hard time when you're up this high and you see a guy who's scoring essentially a goal a game and then passing on it. Like that's what and I get, like, I think you can make a strong case for Schaefer. I think you can make a strong case for James Higgins, who we'll talk about next. But it's different. It's just different.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Like, if we're looking for more offense, why not the guy who's scoring an average of over 2 points per game and a goal a game almost? What are we doing here, man?
If you like that, make sure to subscribe to Up the Turnpike on Patreon for more exclusive New York Islanders content.